Online dating has to be one of the weirdest things I've ever heard. Because while I hear so many absolutely terrible sounding horror stories coming out of it, I also hear more and more people using it. And as somebody who is currently in high school, I feel like I consistently more and more hear people trying online dating and seeing like, you know, seeing what's going on in there. And then coming out of it scarred, terrified for their life, paranoid. Stories that have come out online about online dating and people's experiences in online dating are so scary. I thought it would be interesting to look at a couple online stories. Actually, this is all coming from one specific one that I found that's just like actually mind-boggling. There are people in the world walking around who are capable of voting that are like this, but I just have to show you this first one because it's actually insane.
Crazy dating horror stories. I have to tell you guys this one. This is very scary. So went on 3 dates with this guy. First 2 dates, totally normal, no red flags. Third date, he said, hey, let's get some Mexican food. I was like, cool, don't have to tell me twice about some chips and queso and a margarita, let's do it. The whole time he was talking about his car, how his car is like his baby. I don't know anything about cars, so he was saying what kind of car it was. I had zero idea what that meant. So after dinner, he says, hey, would you want to like ride around in my car? He's like, it's a really nice night, it's a convertible, would love to turn the music up and just have a great time. Now, my friends knew that I was on a date with this guy, but did not know like that I would be going anywhere with him, obviously. So I wasn't anticipating like going to a house or anything like that. All is well, it's been a great evening. Then he pulls into a neighborhood.
Oh, no. That actually, no. The amount of these stories that stem from like guys picking up girls and then taking them to their house without telling them, actually, that is like actually like a crime and could very easily turn into a crime. Was I the only one that was like told as a child, never get into a stranger's van? Even if this stranger is your third date, do not get into their car.
Where are we going? He said, oh, this is my house. He's like, I have leftover food in the back. I just really want to run it into the refrigerator real quick. I was so uncomfortable because I'm like, no one knows where I'm at. I did not tell them that I was going to somebody's house. So I was like, I would prefer us not. Like, can we just go back and you can just drop me off and then come right back? He's like, no, I'm already here. Like I live 15 minutes away from the restaurant. I don't want to drive all the way back. We're already here. Let me run in. You don't have to come in. He finally calls me and he's like, hey, you should just come in. My dog is having some trouble. I think she ate something bad. Come in and just like stay with me for a few minutes and then we'll go. So I went along with it to be nice. I go inside and there is 2 wine glasses full of wine. And this was like the 4th red flag. He gets so mad. What do you mean? Do you think I'm gonna like do something to you just because you're drunk?
Yes, that is exactly what people think is gonna happen to them when you're getting them drunk on a 3rd date. Mind you, this is on a 3rd date. If it was like, if they were like actually together and like maybe this was her first time going to his house, that would be one thing. Mind you, he didn't even tell her that she was going to his house. She literally just thought they were going on like a good ride, like a nice ride in his convertible, and then he pulls into his neighborhood, then offers her alcohol, and unfortunately was not able to find the second part. But that already in and of itself is just that's terrifying. Especially since nobody wants to go to your like apartment or house anyway. It was already clearly his intention like before the date that they were gonna go there, which makes it even more disgusting that he didn't tell her. So I just imagine that he like was cleaning beforehand and stuff. But still, I've heard so many stories of guys bringing over girls just like on a whim, and their apartments are like actually disgusting, nasty, radioactive. Seems like one of the most common things with online dating is when one person sends a message looking for a serious relationship and then the other person is just looking for like a one-night stand, just like to get freaky. And usually it's the horror stories of one person sending a message and the other person saying like, ooh,
you wanna send pics?
But this one is actually from the other side, where the person that we're in the point of view from is saying like, oh, they don't want to like have romantic feelings for anyone. They don't want to be in a relationship. I assume they were just looking for like a one-night stand, and the other person is the person that like flips out. I guess they were probably talking about like what they were looking for in a relationship, and it was very clear that they like were not a good match. To be honest, and I'm not sure our attitudes towards dating are aligned. I have a busy schedule, as I'm pretty sure you do, and I'm not prepared to leave an entire evening free for someone I barely know. I'm also not sure if I'm really looking to develop any feelings for anyone right now. Wishing you the best in your dating journey though. It was lovely to chat when we met. So I'm guessing they didn't really talk before their first like meet up or like their first like one night stand. And then one person was looking for it to keep going, and the person we're in the point of view from was like, no, that was all I wanted. But then this is what the guy's response is. So that's why I'm assuming that we're in the point of view of a girl. But yeah, gay people exist. Happy Pride.
So I'm purely talking from experience here, and I have quite a few years on you. You're pretty young. When you meet somebody for a date, you go for tea or coffee, and then if it's still going well, you go for a drink, and then if it's still going well, you go for a dinner and stuff like that. Just the way this sort of thing works. You'll see, as you grow up. That's just the way this dating thing works. And yeah, you might not leave an evening free in case things go well, but the truth is 90% of women do, because they appreciate that they might be pleasantly surprised. And to be honest, that's the only way it really works. Yeah, trust me on this one, but it's fine. You can find out yourself.
And I would say that he has like a good point where he's saying like, oh, you meet up with someone, then you actually realize this might be the person for you, and then maybe you go on more dates, then you finally, blah, 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 blah. But it seems like this person made it very clear. They were like, oh, I don't want to have any, I'm very busy, I don't want to be in a relationship. And then this person sent a message being like,
well, actually, you don't seem to realize because you're so young.
Whoa.
You don't seem to realize because you're not as mature as me. You'll realize it in a couple of years, but you don't seem to realize that people actually like dates.
Clearly, she does not want to go on a date with you. It's really that easy. I think you have to kind of realize when you're in these like messaging things that like you don't know the other person as much as you want to think that you do already. Because like obviously you don't know them. You literally are like sending your first messages. Maybe you've went on one date. Maybe you've had one night stand, but like that's it. You don't know this person. You don't know what they want. And so when they clearly state what they want, it's like, give up, go to the next person. Okay, then there's this other one where the girl who's talking is talking in the perspective of her friend, who I guess was meeting up with this guy, and they were talking about what to do, and the guy decided to stay in her like area another night to see her. But then I guess it doesn't really go the best. It seems really good. They're talking about how they're gonna go to a steakhouse, and then I guess the night that they're going to the steakhouse comes, and he shows up 30 minutes after her. Like he shows up 30 minutes late to the time they decided to meet, which already is like a very bad look. Why would you show up 30 minutes late to a steakhouse where those workers are like bustling around trying to get stuff, and then you're having her wait 30 minutes. And I guess on this date, when he showed up 30 minutes late already in the first place, she called him bro at some point. I don't really know like the context. There might be something more there, but I guess she called him bro at some point, and that rubbed him really bad, which is important for later on, because then they get to the day and it seems like it went pretty well, and the girl actually offered to split the bill with the guy, and the guy was like, oh no, I got this, which is like a really good thing to do for like one of your first dates, to split the full bill at a steak restaurant. And it seems like he made up pretty well for being 30 minutes late. But then when they get back, they are talking through Hinge, strictly through Hinge. They hadn't like even exchanged phone numbers yet. It wasn't like they were deep in their acquaintanceship of each other. But he then sends her a text when she gets home saying, hey, thanks for meeting, can we actually split that check? And then I'm assuming his bank account, or however she tells him. I kind of muscle memory always play, but to be honest, didn't feel good about it this time. You seem like a nice person, but it's weird to call someone bro and not even take it back, given they stayed back to meet you, and given we went to a rather expensive place, which you sort of chose. Already, why are you blaming the other person for choosing the restaurant? If you could not pay for that, why would you go there in the first place? I wanted to give extra benefit of the doubt, but it didn't seem you were genuinely interested.
Anyways, good luck to you.
That is the most passive-aggressive good luck to you I've ever seen through text. And keep in mind, we're not even at the worst part yet, and he already seems like a very not okay person. And this is after their first date.
This is where shit gets fucking weird. He found her phone number through LinkedIn, texted her this from a fake number. It does not match the number he gave her on Hinge. And then proceeds to send another message last night after the first one. And then just when she thinks it's done, another text this morning. Thanks for the lovely evening. It was the highlight of my trip.
Hey there, it was nice meeting you. It was an absolute privilege to be one of your 3 dates for this week. You go on just for cakes and a free meal. Just another bro. Which, like, if he was trying to be, like, anonymous and, like, not like the others, I don't know why he announced who he was very clearly. But seriously, you're kind of a shitty human being in the off chance you wanted to wear. Mind you, he said he would pay the check. She left. And then he realized,
Actually, she called me bro, and I don't really feel good about paying this full check for this steakhouse that we both mutually agreed on to go to, so I'm actually gonna beg her to split the check.
He then just continues sending messages, and I'll read through this one pretty quick because it's not really that much. It's just like, he's so petty. I had an amazing trip, but with one huge blemish. But hey, got to check off catfish from my bucket list. Not on the outside, but who you are on the inside. I've never felt so disgusted immediately after a date with somebody. Mind you, she called him bro. From what we know, that is literally all she did. And no matter how rude she was, you do not keep texting the person from random phone numbers being like,
Yeah, I'm still mad about that. That was nights ago. Yeah, I'm still mad about that. It was our first date. I'm still angry.
what? People go through multiple, tens, probably hundreds for some people, dates before they actually find somebody who is like a person they would want to be with for the rest of their life. does this sound like a person you'd want to be with for the rest of your life? And I guess that after the date, or probably after he sent the message saying, can we split the check, she unmatched with him because, like, why would you do that? She literally offered to split the check and then you were like,
No, I got this.
obviously she's gonna unmatch with you. You seem like a weirdo. You could have just said something even if not nice, instead of just unmatching. But that speaks volumes about you. Good luck finding some psychopathic meathead that you end up. Some combination of that would suit you much better. Who seems like the psychopath in this situation? Is it the girl who called this guy bro and I guess maybe wasn't that enthusiastic on the first date? Or is it the guy who's continually sending messages to this girl after she unmatched him, just talking about how petty he is? According to this girl, which credit to this girl, this is allegedly the worst message of all of them, and it's also the longest.
And don't kid yourself about being some strong, successful woman. The fact you would happily let someone stay back a day, be so interested in which restaurant we go to, happily let them pay, showing no or little artificial interest, / barely bothering to get to know them and wanting to leave immediately after, and disrespectfully calling me bro makes it evident you just go on these dates for free amount, which shows, even despite having a good job, you live like some pathetic sugar baby. Thanks for the data point. I gave the benefit of the doubt, but next time I meet some hedge fund chick who has your kind of vibe, I'll know not to touch her with a 10-foot pole.
I don't think she wanted to get touched with a 100-foot pole. And just to recap, in our timeline, they matched on Hinge, then I guess he was in her area for a little bit and then he decided to stay one extra day. Oh, boo-hoo. He decided to stay one extra day for this first date. And then they decided they were going to this fancy dining place. They went. He showed up 30 minutes late. Then it seems like they had a pretty good time, although I guess maybe she wasn't too enthusiastic according to what he's saying. Then they finished the date. Seems like it was a pretty good date according to the girl. But I guess the guy didn't like the date because she called him bro. They then get to the end. She offers to split the check and he's like,
Oh, no. I can take the full check.
Then she gets home and he's like,
Oh my god. She called me bro. I can't pay the full check for this girl. She wanted to go here in the first place.
you mutually agreed to go here. And then afterwards, she unmatches him on Hinge and he continues texting her over and over talking about how angry and petty and, you know, over this single date, this first date, he is so mad over this first date. It's actually kind of pathetic. Also, good point that she made at the end about, like, don't put too much on, like, out in the open about yourself, but also if you're going onto online dating, obviously you're gonna put your name, and if he has your name, or if whoever this weirdo is has your name and your picture, clearly they can find you on literally anything. He found her on LinkedIn, found her number, and then just kept texting her.
Get ready with me while I talk about a time I went on a Tinder date with a looks maxer and got catfished. So for some context, we met on the double date feature of Tinder, but my friend and his friend weren't really texting on that group chat, so we just ended up adding each other on Snap and then snapping each other for like 6 months. One day I was just kind of bored, so I asked him if he wanted to go and grab some ramen with me. So mind you, the only time I saw this guy's face is over Snapchat when we were snapping for the 6-month period, or over occasional FaceTimes and on his TikTok account here as well. But he has a pretty large following where he posts like his looks max stuff and like thirst traps and like advice on how to like get better, I guess. So he texts me he arrives and I go down to his car and I say hi to him. He looks nothing like his TikToks, let me tell you. This guy is like catfishing, maxing. And the entire car ride, we're just not speaking. Like he's just blasting like SD Kid, Blade, like opium as hell shit. I'm like, okay. So we get to the wrong place. He gets out of the car. Keep in mind, he said he was 6'3". I'm 5'10". That hoe was 2 apples tall. He was driving like a little Mercedes or whatever car he was driving. He didn't even reach like the top hood of the car. Like that bitch was short. He was maybe like 5'6" at most. Mind you, 5'10". So we go inside. The place is like low-key booming because it's like a new ramen spot. So they have to sit us at the high tops. We get the menus and he's like, wait, I'm like order maxing right now. The fuck? So every time he like does something or like says something, he's like, oh, I'm this maxing, I'm that maxing, I'm... Bitch, how about you shut the fuck up maxing at this point? In the time span that we're waiting for our food, he like starts over analyzing me on like my looks and like what I need to change and like max or whatever, and he's talking about like your maxilla is recessed. What the fuck is a maxilla? Like,
how can you actively have a TikTok, know that you do not look like your TikToks, because there's no way that you're posting those and like just being like, oh yeah, this is like honestly to yourself being like, no, this is my natural self, and you just don't notice that you're like actually chopped and unk and stupid and ugly. Like that doesn't happen. But then when you go on this page with this girl, mind you, this girl, she's got almost 7,000 followers, but this video specifically got 650,000 likes and 4,500 comments. Like, how are you not scared that she's gonna go on and be like, oh yeah, this guy blurts his name and is like,
yeah, this guy, he actually doesn't look at all like it.
and then you're gonna go on and start judging her to her face on the date about how she looks and like how she's not. Oh my god. It's people that are just so like absolutely TikTok brained, so like clavicular influenced. Clavicular? Oh my god, I just saw a video on clavicular by Film Cooper. Film Cooper, I love you. But I saw a video on clavicular by Film Cooper. Genuinely one of the most wild people I've ever seen. But anyway, it's people like this that are people that watch clavicular. Whenever like people are like, oh my god, who even watches clavicular? It's gotta be for like children. No, it's people like this. People that are so like TikTok brained that they're convinced that they are like the hottest, sexiest people on the planet, and they genuinely are molding just like clavicular.
And at this point, like, I'm mad irritated, like, where the food at? So then he like goes on his phone and he starts like thirst trapping and like that freaking angle that he does where he catfishes the fuck out of people. And anytime he would say something, it's to say that I'm something maxing, this maxing. And then at some point he literally asked me, he's like, oh, how does it feel like to go like out on a date with a TikToker? You're not a celebrity. Like, I'm not on a date with Michael B. Jordan right now. Like, I'm mad confused. And then we get up and like he's cracking jokes the entire time, talking about I'm this maxing, I'm that mogging. Like, so I thought it was my turn to crack a joke. So I'm like, yo, why am I hype mogging right now? He did not find that shit funny. He literally looked me dead in the face and was like, the fuck is wrong with you? You told me you were 6'3". I'm 5'10", you're 5'6". Like, yes, I'm hype mogging you right now, and I'm actually being dead ass too.
And then also lying about your height, which like I guess I don't really have an opinion on like people who have a specific preference. I can understand having a specific preference for height, but like the stories about people being like, oh my god, yeah, this person was 1 inch. They were 5'11" instead of 6 foot. Maybe I'm also just saying that because I'm like 5 foot though. I'm crouching right now.
We get back to my apartment. He's like, can I come upstairs? So then I'm like, oh, like my roommates are home and like I just don't think that they would be comfortable with that. Bitch, I live in a studio. I don't got roommates. I open my phone and it's a large paragraph of him analyzing me and what I need to change, giving me advice on this and that, saying I gotta do my eyebrows like this, gotta do my lashes like that, gotta fix my recessed maxilla.
I'll give a full like shout out to the Kairos in the comments saying, can we please stop calling them looks maxers? They're male beauty influencers. I find it incredibly ironic that they're like, oh no, we're looks maxers. We use the, what's it called? The pen instead of saying like freaking, what is it, mascara? Or is it eyeliner? One of them. And they call it like the male pen. Changing all that to like be like more like, more male. And then you text this girl and you're like, oh my god, yeah, your nails, you need to change your nails, you need to change your lips, you need to change your eyebrows. That is the beauty influencer brain disease. Lying about your height is also just like a crazy thing, because like if you are short and you want to have like to be with somebody and you're online dating, you cannot lie about your height. At least be honest, because then people who either prefer shorter people or people who are just like, you know, normal people, do not go on a date with somebody who is clearly like, oh, you need to be like 6 or above, or like 5'10" or above if I'm gonna be with you, and then you're 5'6". Brother, you are half a foot below. You're like this much below what you're saying. That's big. It is these like actually infected people who are just convinced that like they are the best, they know best. Mother knows best. They know everything in beauty. They know everything in women's beauty. How can you say that you are a looks maxer and you use the male pen thingy, but then you're commenting on women's like makeup and stuff? Like that, you just put the mascara on, put the colorful eyeshadow on, and then after all of that, after the date where it's clear like this girl is like,
oh, I don't want you in my apartment, I don't even want you anywhere close to me, I'm gonna make fun of your height to your face because you are annoying as hell.
Being like, okay, you need to change this, and this if you want to be with me. Nobody wants to be with you. Nobody wants to be with you. And also, lying about your height online to like, it seems from what she's saying, like tens to hundreds of thousands of people. Lying about your height, that is such an easily like seen thing. There's a reason Kevin Hart doesn't lie about his height, and that's because he's an actor and you can very clearly see he is not anywhere close to The Rock or any of the other like tall people he works with. But as like an influencer, you can't do that either, because like there's people that are gonna go on dates with you, there's people who are gonna see you in public and be like, oh my god, clavicular. But anyway, yeah, I think that was honestly just like dipping my toe into the shallow end of the pool that is online dating. The like disgusting algae-filled cesspool that is online dating, actually. Which like dating already is like a difficult, like odd thing. Not odd, like obviously it's a very important factor in like getting to know and meeting people and getting with somebody, but online dating, ugh, ick. When you are putting all of your information in a public space and then being like, oh, I want people to see that and be with me, it's just, that is grounds for like actually terrible things to happen. And that, I didn't even get into any of like the actually like illegal things of like guys who are like following girls, or like girls that go on dates with guys and like don't like how that guy looks, or like he's not the right height, he's not 4 times 4 equals 49, or whatever the equation is, or YN and the mafia. And so they go online and they're like, oh my god, this guy is like, he's too short, he's too chopped, like why would I ever be with him? Lock in. Anyway, it was very interesting looking at online dating and the really odd people that look into it. If you want me to make a part 2, maybe about the actually like criminal behaviors that have been done in online dating, comment down below. And I'll see you then. Have a blessed day.